Hello everyone. I hope reading from my laptop doesn't make this message any less sincere. I want to make sure I can get this message across clearly, although I know I will always have more to say / learn when it comes to the topic of racism. I also want to say that I understand that I myself will never fully understand, but that I can and I will stand up, speak up and show up. I will have links to petitions you can sign in the description box, and I've also made stories highlight on my Instagram @Flossie of all the resources / information I have found so far. Please also comment down below links to petitions and information outlets that you have found are helpful. Similarly, all AdSense from this video will be donated to Black Lives Matter charities, so please watch the ads all the way through. Eric Garner, a horticulturist at the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, but had to quit due to his diabetes. He had 6 children, ranging in age from 18 years to 3 months, and was with his wife Esau for over 20 years. Michael Brown, an 18-year-old Normandy High School graduate, amateur musician and soon-to-be student at Vatura College. Laquan MacDonald, a 17-year-old described by his peers as respectful and reserved, and an A-grade student in personal finance. Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old boy born to Samara Rice and Leonard Walker in Cleveland, Ohio, described as a young boy who liked to draw, play basketball and perform in the school's drumline. Walter Scott, a 50-year-old forklift operator studying massage therapy, and an ex-US Coast Guard. Freddie Gray, 25-year-old son of Gloria Dardenand, twin to Frederica Gray, as well as a brother to Carolina. He lived in a home owned by his sisters in the Gilmer neighborhood. Jamar Clark, an employee at Copeland Trucking and had hopes of attending college, described by his ex-girlfriend as a nurturing, loving man who was drawn to her 4 children, giving them advice and helping them sell candy for school. Colton Sterling, a 37-year-old man known locally as the CD Man. Philander Castillo, a 32-year-old born in Missouri who worked for the St. Paul Public School District and was boyfriend to Diamond Reynolds. Stephen Clark, a Sacramento High School graduate who grew up in a tough neighborhood and was reported by his brother to have been arrested before but had been different lately and really changed his own life. Botham Jean, a 26-year-old Harding University alumnus and an accountant for PricewaterhouseCoopers, described as a man of great joy and faith. Brianna Taylor, a University of Kentucky student who went on to be an emergency medical technician who worked at 2 hospitals. George Floyd, nicknamed the Gentle Giant, amongst his friends, and a father to 6-year-old daughter Roxy, who lives with her mother in Houston. These are just some of the high-profile, racist-driven police murder cases from recent years. Each have had many people rightfully demanding police accountability that in most cases has never come. I hope your blood boils knowing this. In July 2014, Eric Garner's final words, "I can't breathe," were captured on video as he was pinned to the ground in a chokehold by a white police officer on the pavement after suspicion of him illegally selling cigarettes. Garner died from suffocation, which, may I add, the court tried to blame on his asthma. The same words echoed from George Floyd on May 25th when he was murdered on the street in Minneapolis. No police in these cases have been charged appropriately for their crimes being outright murder. This has to stop now. How long till we confront this situation, oppose and challenge racist opinions / comments, no matter who they're from? Whether it comes from a family member, a passerby, your boss, your best friend, an acquaintance, it is our responsibility, and always will be, to question and diminish these racist and white supremacist remarks. Whether it's casual racism that shows itself in a comment, or police racism where it shows itself in death, it's all just as evil and makes the world a horrible place to be. Racism is not born, it's taught. The fact Black Lives Matter even has to be said and is not just standard in itself is horrifying. Black lives do matter, Black lives have mattered, and Black lives always will matter. How long till we stop using the excuse that this topic makes us, a white privileged individual, uncomfortable, and actually research and learn about how we can be better? How long till schools teach students the danger and evil of racism, and Black children don't have to grow up afraid of a police force that's whole purpose is to protect its citizens? Just saying you are not a racist and using a hashtag in this time is not enough. This is a Black movement and not a trend people forget about in 2 months, and must not be something that is forgotten about once we all regain some normality in life. We keep pushing this message and actively seeking out more information/knowledge on the topic, as well as petitions to sign until these rights are granted. Buy books, read articles, listen to podcasts, sign petitions, donate money, watch YouTube videos, films, documentaries, TV series. There is no excuse and no reason as to why you can't be learning. Once again, I will leave a list of useful links in my description box and on a Black Lives Matter story highlight on my Instagram. And I also just want to say I encourage all of you, if you have any other links, to comment them down below. That is why I am leaving the comment section open. I recently came across a chart which covered overt white supremacy, socially unacceptable, and covert white supremacy, socially acceptable. White supremacy is a system of structural and societal racism which privileges white people over everyone else, regardless of the presence or absence of racial hatred. White racial advantages occur at both a collective and individual level. This chart presents just some of the ways people practice and reinforce white supremacy that they may not even be aware of. If you are unsure as to what any of these terms mean, please look them up. I will leave the chart on screen here, and I ask you please screenshot and make yourself familiar with it, as well as sharing it with others. In light of several recent racist events, and in recognition of all the countless cases and events we don't and will likely never know about, we are all reminded we see injustice, and it's up to us to step in and make a difference. With that being said, here are some ways to be actively anti-racist. Here are some great organisations which support and work towards racial equality and justice. Anti-Racist Research and Policy Centre, Eddo-Lodge Project, Black Women's Blueprint, Colour of Change, Colourliness, The Conscious Kid, Equal Justice Initiative, Families Belong Together, the Leadership's Conference on Civil and Human Rights, Muslim Girl, Empower Change, NAACP, National Domestic Workers Alliance, RAICES, Showing Up for Racial Justice, Sister Song, and United We Dream. There are also some films on Netflix such as 13th, American Son, Dear White People, See You Yesterday, When They See Us. A podcast I've been listening to and finding useful and informative is the 1619 podcast by the New York Times, but there are many others about race, such as About Race, Code Switch, The Diversity Gap, Intersectionality Matters, Momentum, A Race Forward podcast, Pod for the Cause, and Pod Save the People. Some popular books on race are Black Feminist Thoughts, The Bluest Eye, The Fire Next Time, How to Be an Anti-Racist, Just Mercy, Sister Outsider, Redefining Realness, and So You Want to Talk About Race. Please do not praise any online persons or myself for speaking out about this. This is standard and the least we can do right now. Save your support and energy for the support of Black people and the movement itself. The goal of talking about this on social media is not for praise or to show that we care, but to amplify their voices so that they are supported through this. Please don't be someone who cares more about looking like a good person rather than being one. Be aware, be angry, be better.
Today's Sandy Speaks is going to focus directly on my white people. White people. Yes, Black people know that all lives matter. But what I need you guys to understand is that being a Black person in America is very, very hard. Although you all love to say, oh, nobody should see race, people are the reason that racism is still alive. Well, what kind of people are the reason? Black racists have no power, whereas white racists do. They have power because they are in positions of control, or they're in positions where they can influence the control over Black people. Yes, that is very true. So to my friends who want to get on my videos and they're upset about the picture that I posted, oh well, I will not apologize for it, because at the moment, Black lives matter. They matter. Our media is showing you, obviously they don't. So for y'all that can sit around and say all lives matter, I want you to go put it on a poster and stand out on a corner somewhere. If we can get enough white people to show that all lives matter, maybe they'll stop killing our Black brothers. Because obviously that's what it's going to take for the white people to get up and get tired of Black people saying Black lives matter. So if y'all want it to stop, you get out there and do something about it. But what you're not going to do is get on my page with the foolishness. I am not a racist. I grew up in Villa Park, Illinois, was the only Black girl on an all-white cheerleading squad, so I had to learn how to deal with and Black people, you will not be successful in this world until you learn how to work with white people. But I want the white folks to really understand out there, Black people are truly, we're doing as much as we can. And we can't help but get pissed off when we see situations where it's clear the Black life didn't matter. For those of you questioning why was he running away, well, goddamn. Because in the news that we've seen as of late, you could stand there, surrender to the cops, and still be killed. Plain and simple. You might have a Black friend or two. And I'm not calling all white people racist, because y'all not. But for the ones who want to get on my page talking about all lives matter, show me in American history where all lives have mattered. Show me where there has been liberty and justice for all. Like that fucking Pledge of Allegiance we love to say. Excuse my French, because Sandy Speaks don't usually cuss. But white people, if all lives mattered, would there need to be a hashtag for Black Lives Mattering? Think about that. Just truly think about that. I am into building up my kings and queens. So for me, Black Lives Matter. And then subset all lives matter. Take it or leave it. Sandy Speaks.
Get out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You
I'm
just
giving
opened
you a
my car
lawful
door.
order.
You just
I'm
opened my
gonna
car
drag you
door.
out of here.
So you threatening to drag me out of my own car.
Get out of the car.
And then you
I
gonna
will
stun
light
me?
you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
Get out of the
Really,
car.
for a failure to signal. You doing all of this for a
Get
failure
over
to
there.
signal. Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do
Go
it.
ahead.
For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone. I have a right to
Put your
record. This
phone
is my
down.
property. This
Put
is
your
my
phone
property.
down.
Sir?
Put your phone down. Right now. Put your phone down.
You're about to break my wrist. Can you
Stop
stop? You are about to fucking break my wrist.
Stop moving. Stop now. Stop it.
Stop resisting, man.
If you would stop, and I would tell you.
You are fucking traffic
Now
signal.
stop.
You are such a pussy. You are such a pussy. No, you are.
You yanking around.
For a traffic signal.
You are.
We have to just stop icing these things over. We have to stop acting like they don't matter. And so Sandy is going to speak whenever I see something wrong. I thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate all of your support, and I hope you have a very blessed, prosperous, successful, go out there and do something great today. Change your life, even if it's just smiling at somebody. Love you guys.